I'm writing this because I'm genuinely scared and don't know what else to do. My name is Sarah, I'm 23 years old, and what started as my boyfriend trying to help me make friends has turned into a nightmare of obsession and harassment that won't stop no matter what I do. I started dating my boyfriend Marcus about 2 years ago, during one of the lowest points in my life. I was extremely introverted, had no friends, and barely spoke to anyone outside of necessary interactions. My isolation was making me miserable, and Marcus could see how much I was struggling with loneliness. A few months into our relationship, Marcus had to move to another country for work. We decided to try long distance because what we had felt worth fighting for, but the separation made my isolation even worse. Marcus felt terrible about leaving me alone, so he came up with what seemed like a perfect solution at the time. He'd introduced me to his closest friends so we could all hang out online together, play games, and give me the social connection I desperately needed. Marcus's friend group consisted of two people he'd known since high school. The first guy, who I'll call Aaron, had also moved to a different country and was dealing with a completely different time zone. Aaron had his own busy life and work schedule, so while he'd join our calls occasionally, he wasn't around very much. The second friend, who I'll call Blake, lived in the same country as me and was taking a gap year while the rest of us were in university. Blake had tons of free time and was always available to hang out online. At first, this seemed great. Blake was friendly and welcoming, making an effort to include me in conversations and games. I was grateful to finally have someone to talk to during the day when Marcus was asleep due to the time difference. For the first few months, everything seemed fine. Blake and I would play games together, chat about random things, and I felt like I was finally developing a friendship outside of my relationship with Marcus. I was slowly coming out of my shell and feeling less lonely. Marcus was happy that his plan was working and that I had someone to keep me company. But then things started to shift in ways I didn't recognize as problematic at first. Whenever Marcus and I had even minor disagreements, the kind of small conflicts every couple has, Blake would somehow insert himself into the situation. He'd message me separately asking what happened, and when I'd vent about being frustrated with long distance or whatever we'd argued about, Blake would validate my feelings in ways that felt supportive at first. But Blake's support quickly turned into something else. He'd start saying things like Marcus didn't appreciate me enough, that Marcus was being inconsiderate, that I deserved better treatment. He'd point out every small thing Marcus did wrong and magnify it into something bigger. Initially, I was stressed about the long distance situation and already feeling insecure, so part of me almost believed what Blake was saying. Looking back, I can see Blake was deliberately trying to drive a wedge between Marcus and me, but at the time, I was vulnerable and lonely, and Blake's constant attention and apparent concern felt validating. He was telling me what I wanted to hear when I was feeling neglected and isolated. Click below to listen to full story.